Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. LSU, it appears, reports surfacing now that a decision has been made with the final on-field position coach, and it'll be Slade Nagle, tight ends coach, who comes over from Tulane. This is not a surprise. This name's been talked about a good bit over the last couple of weeks, and it appears that that will become finalized here very, very soon. And there's something that I found striking about the composition of this new look coaching staff. Of course, you had continuity in your first 2 years under Brian Kelly with the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator and the vast majority of the position coaches. You've had some shuffling at defensive line, but a lot of these guys have been here for 2.5 years. And I think continuity is a very, very good thing. However, the defense faltered last year. You needed to make changes on that side of the ball. And your offensive coordinator decided, hey, I'm out of here. I'm going to Notre Dame. So you've got an opportunity to change things at the top there. Turns out LSU just promoted from within, and now they're backfilling with a tight ends coach in Slade Nagle. But this coaching staff very clearly has a common bond. There is no denying it. And there's no suggesting that it's coincidence, in my opinion. This is by design. I don't think it was a prerequisite to get an interview or a look, but the fact that all these coaches share a common bond, I believe, was a significant factor into why they were brought into the staff to coach. And you, I think, know where I'm headed with this, but it's ties to this state. Let's just run through it, because it's not like the majority. It's all of them except one. Joe Sloan has spent 11 years between Louisiana Tech and LSU. He's your new co-offensive coordinator. Cortez Hankton is your other co-offensive coordinator. He's from New Orleans. Frank Wilson's your running back coach. Do I need to say a lot more about that? Frank's been around a little bit. New Orleans, over at McNeese for a quick stint, but he's a New Orleans guy. Brad Davis, Bel Air High School, right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He said many times that he wanted to come home, which is why he left Arkansas, where he had a great job, to come coach here. And Slade Nagle's your tight ends coach that you brought in today. He's from Lake Charles. He went to McNeese. He had 2 stints at Northwestern State as an assistant coach and spent 8 years at Tulane. That about covers it. Grew up and went to college in Lake Charles. Spent some time in Central Louisiana at Northwestern. You want to call that North Louisiana? Sure. And 8 years at Tulane, uptown. That offensive staff is comprised of nothing but dudes who have spent a lot of time in this state. But it's not just the offense. You go to the defense. Blake Baker is your new defensive coordinator. Going to coach the linebackers as well. He went to Tulane. He spent 5 years at Louisiana Tech as an assistant. He spent a year at LSU, and his wife went to LSU. That's a lot of roots in the state of Louisiana for a guy that's been at Missouri and Miami and some other places. Defensive line coach, Bo Davis, played his college football right down the road at LSU. It's his alma mater. On the edge, Kevin Peoples was an assistant coach at Northwestern State twice, and was at Tulane from 2016 to 2019. So that's a significant amount of time in Louisiana in the recent past. Your cornerbacks coach, Corey Raymond. Ever heard of him? Yeah. From New Iberia. Coached at LSU for 11 years before leaving for Florida and coming right back. Feel like guy's pretty comfortable in purple and gold. Jake Olson's going to coach the safeties. He went to grad school at ULM. He coached at ULM, coached at Northwestern State, coached at Nichols. In all 3 of those stops, ULM, Northwestern State, and Nichols, in the last 10 years. Roots up there in Fun Row in the 318, trickling down on I-49 to Northwestern and down the bayou at Nichols. Got them all covered. Even Bob Diaco was the defensive coordinator at Louisiana Tech for a year. The only guy with no real roots in Louisiana or tie to Louisiana or recent experience in Louisiana is John Jansen. He's the outlier, and he's been here for a couple of years now. I'm not suggesting that everybody you bring in to coach football at LSU needs to be able to navigate South Louisiana without Google Maps. That's not what I'm saying. It doesn't make you a perfect fit just because you happen to go to high school here. But we all know the importance of this state to this football program. It is not unique. That's an overused term, but it's close. You look around the country and there are very, very few schools with a geographical stronghold like LSU has. None of the schools in Texas can claim it. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Alabama, Auburn can't. Florida can't either. Georgia Tech's there, but Georgia's got a pretty good advantage. Ohio State's got a lot of MAC schools around it, but it's kind of got the pick of the litter there. Penn State and Pitt graveling up there. USC is probably the belle of the ball in California, but there are others. UCLA, Stanford. LSU's got none of that. And if you want to stand on the table and tell me how great Tulane's been the last 2 years, I'll just politely tell you to get down off the table. Because I don't care. There's LSU and there's everybody else in this state. And the question that everybody brought up when Brian Kelly was hired is like, can this guy come to Louisiana and figure this whole place out? Or is he just going to get swallowed up because he's never been anywhere like this? Well, he's surrounded himself with a bunch of people that have it in their blood. And if you can do what they've done this recruiting cycle over the next two, where there are a ridiculous amount of great Louisiana players coming through that are now sophomores and juniors in high school, you're going to build the foundation of a championship caliber football team. You still have to go to Florida and get your players. You still have to go to Houston and get a few done. And if Brian Kelly wants to use relationships he's used over a lifetime in coaching all over this country to go get guys that fit in down here and can be championship level players, go get them. But it needs to start here. I have no earthly idea if Joe Sloan can coordinate an SEC offense for 12 games. I think he can, but I don't know that. I have no clue how good a tight end technician Slade Nagle is. Not one idea, not one iota. I don't know if Jake Olson can come in a spring and really improve what was very poor safety play last year. I don't know. And coaching is vital in this game. But I will listen to a guy who's had a pretty good run here in Kirby Smart. He said it's players, not plays. And of course, that's not 100% true because we all understand that you got to get guys in position and you got to have a good game plan and execute. That's just broad strokes. And this staff feels like it has an ability to take on these next couple of years in Louisiana where there are so many high-level prospects and get LSU's fair share, which is 95% of them, quite frankly. This doesn't feel like an accident. I don't think Brian Kelly saw a bunch of different options that were probably better coaches with better recruiting acumen, but that guy really knows his way around Port Barry and Livonia. We'll go ahead and bring him in. That's not what this is. These guys are accomplished coaches. They just happen to share a tie to this state, which is the lifeblood of that football program. And you can talk about name, image, and likeness, and you can talk about changing TV deals, and you can talk about the transfer portal, and you can talk about all the changes that happen inside college football, and it's all valid discussion. But the fact of the matter is that LSU's start in this thing to create the foundation of a championship program has to start with recruiting players from this state to wear that uniform. Period. And you can't get them all, and you'll never get them all. But if you get most of them, you're going to have a really good football team. Again, I don't know what today's news with Slade Nagle being the tight ends coach means for Mason Taylor. I don't know what it means for Trez Green. I don't know what it means for Kamorian Pimpton or Mac Markway. Like, might be awesome. I don't know. I guess Mike Denbrock was pretty good at coaching them too. But I can tell what this staff looks like on paper. And as an LSU guy, I like the feel of it.
Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.